Hi you guys, welcome to your May 2024 Astrological Forecast. Before I begin, I'd like to give a shout out to my subscribers. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and commenting on my videos. If you're new to this channel and you like this video, please remember to subscribe, okay? All the interactions that you have with my channel really helps it to grow. Okay, so now for May. Okay, on the 2nd, Pluto turns retrograde. It is in Aquarius, okay, right now. And on the 7th, there's a new moon in Taurus. On the 15th, Mercury moves into Taurus. On the 20th, the Sun moves into Gemini. On the 23rd, there is a full moon in Sagittarius. And also on that day, Venus moves into Gemini. And then on the 25th, Jupiter moves into Gemini. Okay, and I did do a separate video on Jupiter and Gemini, so go listen to that to get more detail, because I'm not going to really cover it in your monthly forecast because I already did it in that video. Okay, and don't forget to check out my weekly forecasts, which have become actually like a daily short. Whenever there is a major aspect, okay, is when I post a daily short. Okay, now for your forecast. Hi, Aries. So, first off, Pluto in Aquarius turns retrograde on the 2nd in your 11th house, where you have the sign of Aquarius, okay? Your 11th house is your most sociable house, socializing in person or online, where you would normally go to hang out with your friends. It's friends and acquaintances, any group or organization that you belong to, and also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So, you know, just this planet turning retrograde, you may not feel the effect too much. You may find that you have less contact possibly with like your friends, or, you know, not much going on socially, something or other. But when a planet is retrograde, it does give you time to review things or think things over. You know, you may even be considering joining a certain group or organization, and maybe you're just like checking them out before you decide to join. Okay, but the big thing I think for you is Mars is in your sign all month. Okay, Mercury's here up until the 15th, so there's Mercury and Mars in Aries in your first house of self and personality. Okay, Mars does well when it's in your sign because it's your ruling planet, right? But the combination of Mercury and Mars together does bring out the ego, okay? Mercury is the communication, Mars is the ego. So when anyone right now, wherever they have this going on in their chart, is, you know, it's the me factor. It's I'm talking about myself. Okay, but there's a reason usually that you are talking about yourself, okay? For you, you know, it's just natural that you're able to defend yourself or speak about yourself in ways like with confidence. You know, you don't need to gloss anything over or embellish anything or other. So that's kind of like what this is you are possibly informing people or someone in particular, that's all. You know, but again, everyone is experiencing this transit. It all depends on what house it's happening in, and they are having to do the same, more or less. You know, talk about yourself. You have to point things out to people, you know. I always say, when Mars is in your own sign, because it only happens about every other year, it takes that long to come back to your sign. Mars only transits about 6 signs per year, okay? Excuse me. So I always say again that that's about how long it takes for you to remind people, have to remind people just what their lives would be like without you in it. Mars makes you have to point out to people, although the things, you know, that you may find yourself saying things like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have done this, or we wouldn't have this or that or something. You know, a lot of times people just take you for granted. So that's what this transit does. It makes you, you know, point out to people more or less, in a way, all that you've done for them, instead of all that they've done for you, you know. And also, Mars is the action planet, energetic planet. It makes you want to, this is what Mars is good to use for. Okay, when it's in your first house, is change anything that is not going the way you would like it to within your life. Okay, your first house is the house of self and personality. You know, you're trying to bring things about. A lot of times people start things at this time. It is, again, the ego planet, so it's personal. It's personal. You're more concerned with yourself at this time, which you should be. Not so much whatever everyone else wants, but what you want. And that's what Mars is good for at this time. When it's in your first house, you make changes, sweeping changes to whatever area is not going the way you would like it to. Okay? That's all. But like I said, it does well. It's at home in your sign, so I don't really see anyone thinking that you're being aggressive or anything like that, but you could be. Physically aggressive, though, too. I mean, as far as wanting to release some kind of energy, such as exercising or running or doing dancing, something, moving about in some way or other. Okay? Well, the sun is in Taurus up until the 20th. Venus is here up until the 23rd. Mercury moves into Taurus on the 15th and is here till the end of the month. And Jupiter is still here up until the 25th. Okay, and there's a new moon in Taurus on the 7th. And where you have Taurus in your chart is your second house of earned income. Okay, this is the main money house. Okay. It is how you earn your money. It's also your investments, your possessions, your values, your personal values, and also your valuables. This is your sense of self-worth, and also the house of hidden talent. So having all of these things here, with Jupiter here all this time, and especially with Uranus, which brings about the element of surprise. This area, could have been really up and down, never a dull moment. When Jupiter is here, it does bring more money in, but sometimes it goes out just as quickly, but you are using it for things that are necessary. It's not frivolous. But Uranus brings in... like you may work some kind of job where it's so many times a year, or it's scattered. It's not something that's long term. Maybe you work a bunch of temporary jobs or something or other, or there is something that you do as a like hobby or something. A lot of times when Uranus is here, it does bring to the surface hidden talents. Okay, so maybe you are still doing that. You are have created another source of income through something that you know how to do. Okay, so around this new moon on the 7th will bring like a new start in this area. Okay, you may pick up some kind of I don't know, some kind of side job or whatever, a new stream of income. A lot of times that's what Jupiter also does, brings in a new stream of income. Okay, or investments of some kind could really start to pay off one more time before Jupiter leaves Taurus and moves into Gemini. Usually when it does leave a sign and moves into the next one, it does one more thing before it leaves. Okay, one more nice aspect, and Jupiter is the planet of good fortune. So, and this is occurring in your second house here. So, if you don't necessarily gamble or play the lottery, I would still buy like some scratch-off tickets if I were you. Like most of the month, the sun moves into Gemini on the 20th, Venus moves here on the 23rd, and then Jupiter moves here on the 25th. Okay, in your third house, that's where you have the sign of Gemini. So, you know, all these nice planets, though, before up until like the 20th, will still be in your second house. So it would be a good idea to, up until that point, buy at least a scratch-off ticket, or the, you know, put a few dollars on the largest jackpot at that time. Okay? So anyways, with all of these planets in Gemini in your third house, and Gemini is the natural ruler of the third house, okay, this is communication and travel, usually local travel, within so many, like a tri-state area thing, or an overnight or day trip or weekend trip. This is any form of communication, email, regular postal mail, text message, voicemail. You can find yourself on the phone a little bit more, even though Mercury isn't present here just yet. It is starting to bring in, like with Venus and Jupiter traveling here together, a lot more contact with people. Okay, third house is your everyday life. The people and places you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day in your neighborhood, like the gas station, garage, post office, something or other. It's also your neighbors, your neighborhood, your siblings, your cousins. It is an internet house, social media. It's the written word, and it is contracts, along with like the seventh house. But you know, I'd have to say you have a lot more. There could be like a new business moving into the neighborhood. I did do a video on Jupiter and Gemini for each sign, so you'll have to listen to that to get more detail, because I'm not really covering it here in your monthly, because I already covered it in that video. Okay, but this is very nice times, or good times within your neighborhood. Something possibly going on within, this is, like I said, siblings and cousins, or even people that you knew from like grade school. Whatever could be coming back into the picture. So, the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Aries on the 4th, 5th, and 6th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Libra, and those dates are the 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 13th, 14th, 15th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. The best time for money is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The best time for your career is the 25th, 26th, and 27th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 11th, 12th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for May. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now like daily shorts. See ya!